last type of support we're going to look at is volumetric and adaptive lattice. So when you have parts with a higher aspect ratio that could be taller, this is an advantage of using a more volumetric, or if you have a material with lower green strength or lower green stiffness while printing. As we look at this part, we're not seeing a lot show up in terms of clusters, so this would be a great time to say, all right, I might need to adapt my critical angle based on what I'm printing. And there it's highlighted quite a bit. We'll get it to be just a touch on the end. That's where we're going to have a harder time supporting our piece, so it makes more sense for us to call for volumetric support. So we can right click and again just choose create volume support on cluster. Generally, again, this is a good starting point. And for what we want to do, this generally it's going to use a lot of material, so it can sometimes be overkill. But if I'm going to print this part out of a material that has lower green stiffness or lower green strength, this might be what I need to do. So you can see with the volumetric how it is more, instead of a polyline where it's more linear, this is definitely filling up a volume. And if we want to take a closer look at that with our clipping planes, we can do so here. So you can see how that fills up. So it does use quite a bit of material and is relatively easy to snap off, depending how it's set up, but does use quite a bit of that extra material. Again, not used very often with a lot of our Origin prints unless we have a high aspect ratio there. Another one that is similar that we should look at is within our scripts. So if I right click and choose call action on cluster, we also have something called an adaptive lattice, and an adaptive lattice bar is almost a combination between volumetric and bar supports, so to speak. Again, it kind of appears as a lot of overkill. We'll use quite a bit of material. I would only suggest or look at using this if something has a very large aspect ratio. You should probably, for a part like this with this kind of support structure, it would be good to reorient your part so you're not using so much material. It is available though. If it is something that you want to use as a starting point, you are welcome to do so. We're going to apply this to the part. We're going to move on to learning how to adjust support details.